Today, I speak not just as a media student or the project head of this particular initiative, but as a concerned witness to a communication breakdown that is quietly unfolding within our homes. In this hyper-connected digital world, we are becoming emotionally disconnected from those who matter the most. That's our elders. This intergenerational communication project, initiated under the Center for Interdisciplinary Studies on Aging, is our response to this cultural crisis. It's a creative, academic, and community-driven attempt to reclaim conversations that once bloomed naturally between grandparents and grandchildren, between memory and modernity. Through schools, colleges, universities, and community spaces, we are building not just programs, but the bridges of listening, the bridges of empathy, and the storytelling. A series of focus workshops have been developed under this initiative, covering vital themes such as how to talk to elders, communication skills for health professionals, dementia and dignity, family care in the age of cognitive decline, listening beyond words, and training for emotional intelligence in elder care.
I really have no words for this Moul and Mouj founders. When it came into existence, I really could not believe, but we had some sessions and they are doing wonderful job, but they cannot do alone. We have to join hands with them. They cannot reach everywhere. So I told them I have to say one thing here, whatever deliberation we are going to have after this, the deliberations, kindly try to find out the practical solutions. For example, I was told that in 2007, Act has been passed by Government of India that no elder person, no child has a right to abuse. Okay? It's not a question, I sometimes feel very sorry about it to say abuse, the word. We should not use it because it is such a crude word to be used for the elder, a senior person. I would say not properly treated. So in that connection it was said. Now let me tell you one point. I told the renowned, this advocate was there who presented, I told him, okay fine, you have this act. What type of facilities you have provided? Do you have in the judiciary a separate unit created for elders? And do you expect an elder person who doesn't have underprivileged, because I forgot to told you that after retirement 2006, I have a lot of experience because we do the rehabilitation of underprivileged people, all type of rehabilitation. It is mental as well as physical. But again, we are working since 50 years. Many people don't know about that organization. And here I am so happy that these people who are here, the youngsters and these professors who have yet to go a long way, that they provide us, we call data. It is not a data, it is the information to tell us where is the problem.
Why should there be a day to commemorate or to talk about the abuse that is there with the elders? I believe if at all any abuse is there, no matter how subtle, it should be, we should be aware of it every minute, every second, every millisecond, every day and every week and every month. It cannot be confined to a day that this awareness should be there for me or for anybody else. Let's come out of this belief that probably abuse is something, that I am somewhere else and my parents are somewhere else. It's not. That might be one kind of abuse. We might be very much living with our parents and yet causing abuse to them. We have to be very aware of those subtle abuses that unknowingly, unwittingly, somehow we do. So I would just request that let us not think about all those things we believe probably constitute abuse. Abuse can be very subtle. How do I talk to my parents? That's important. What tone do I choose in which I talk to my parents? So let us pray to Almighty Allah that He blesses me and everybody with this mindset that is pleasing for our elders, particularly our parents.
This is a global call to take an action, and this year United Nations has specifically talked about a very important theme, that is long-term care facilities through data and action. I believe that it's very important that we cannot work for any social issue if we do not have data, and then this data can give us direction, because we have seen that most of the times academicians, researchers and practitioners do talk about problems that we have abuse, but we don't have the scientific real-time data which can guide the researchers. So this year the theme which United Nations has talked about, it's addressing abuse of older adults in long-term care facilities through data and action. There are multiple themes, and one of the themes which personally attracted me was growing conversations. Conversation is very important, which I think that come before data and action, because a meaningful conversation can make a lot of change. So against this backdrop, today's program, I believe it's timely and necessary. In Kashmir, we are witnessing changing family structures. We have increasing urban migration and a growing number of older adults who may rely on institutional support in coming days. While such facilities aim to provide support, we must ask, are they equipped with the standards which we need? Do we have the right kind of manpower who can deal with this issue?
I have traveled to different countries in the last couple of years. I would especially mention here that I got an opportunity, I got a fellowship to visit China, and I was in China for a couple of months. I had seen this bitter experience in China, in Beijing. There what I have seen, you know that Chinese policy is entirely different. You have the couple and one son or a daughter. But what I have seen here that, particularly there in Beijing, the aging parents are totally isolated. They are residing somewhere and the sons or daughters are residing somewhere. Thanks to the Almighty, particularly in our country and then in our union territory of J&K, we have still that seriousness. We still talk about, if we don't think, but we always talk about the parents. We always talk about the grandparents. We always talk about the people who have attained some age. As a student of physics, I can see a model where we can analyze the data from some sample. For example, I'm sure that the Department of Social Work must have done some exercise, that some of their students would have definitely done a project or kind of a research where they would have definitely come up with the data, particularly from this Kashmir Valley, that where we stand. On the basis of that data, we can see that, we can think ourselves whether we have been able to take care of our aging parents and these grandparents or not. And I'm sure that we have the Department of Social Work, they must have been doing so many programs in the past. But it will be very good that, like in today's program, such kind of events should actually continue. It should not be specific to specific days. We can have always a discussion. There is nothing bad. And particularly my request to my students, particularly to the scholars, is that once you go back to your home after completing your degrees, you should always go back with some positive attitude. So my request to my students is that take these initiatives and project these initiatives in societies. आप देख लीजिएगा अगर कहीं पे गलत हो रहा है, we have not been able, someone is not able, just report to it. आप किसको report करोगे? You cannot report to the police, but at least report to your head of department कि हम इस पे एक analysis करेंगे, एक research करेंगे, एक document बना देंगे. Maybe that document will help to the government or it may help to other people.
You know, talking about the elderly abuse, I suppose this elderly abuse comes at a very later stage, but we definitely need to talk about the elderly population, and I suppose that this is loaded with two dimensions. For me, being a student of social science, I could see first of all a ray of hope in this connotation of elderly population. because this gives us a strong indication that we need to celebrate at one front, because the life expectancy has increased and improved alarmingly. And basically, what I understand, again as a student of social science and specifically as a student sociology, that elderly abuse, elderly mistreatment, it is an outcome of this disconnect between the increase in the life expectancy and our preparedness to cater to the needs of this population. So once this gap is filled, once our preparedness is fine, it is up to the top and we are ready and we are in a position to accept this kind of a population, that this population, we don't only have the older population with us now, we do have the oldest old now with us.
मुहतरम हाज़रीन किराम, मैं आज के इस प्रोग्राम यौम आगाही बराए बदसलूकी मुअम्मर अफराद के मौके पर आप सबका दिल की गहराइयों से खैर मकदम करती हूँ। मैं तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहती हूँ रजिस्ट्रार यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कश्मीर मोहतरम प्रोफेसर नसीर इकबाल साहिब की, जिन्होंने इस प्रोग्राम में शिरकत की। इनके अलावा मैं तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगी हेड ऑफ सोशल वर्क डिपार्टमेंट मोहतरमा प्रोफेसर शाजिया मंजूर साहिबा का, मर्क डिपार्टमेंट यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कश्मीर से मोहतरमा प्रोफेसर सैयदा अफशाना साहिबा का, डीन स्कूल ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कश्मीर मोहतरमा प्रोफेसर अनीसा शफी साहिबा का, और एक्स मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर वुमेन डेवलपमेंट एंड मेंबर एडवाइजरी बोर्ड मूल मौज फाउंडेशन प्रोफेसर मसूदा यासीन का, जिनकी तशरीफ आवरी ने इस प्रोग्राम की अहमियत में चार चांद लगा दिए। मैं दिल की गहराइयों से शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगी मूल मौज फाउंडेशन से चेयरमैन मोहतरम डॉक्टर ज़ुबैर सलीम साहिब का और सेक्रेटरी जनरल मोहतरम डॉक्टर शकीलुर रहमान साहिब का, जिनकी मेहनत, लगन और मुखलिस ताउन से आज की ये पुरवकार महफिल सज पाई है। आपकी मुसलसल रहनुमाई और मौजूदगी हमारे लिए बाइस इफ्तिखार है।